Hey guys, it's Julie. Thank you so much for coming back and joining me today. So Halloween is just around the corner. I'm going to just go straight ahead and talk about more movies that I have been watching as of lately. The first one is It. This is the one that was out last year. I actually went and seen it in the cinema and I really enjoyed it. The second time I watched it was last weekend, and what was so cool, guys, and so funny was the day after I had watched it, I went into like a Halloween shop, and they have like a little part that you can go into, sort of like a little scary wee small warehouse that they've done, and I jumped a few times, I have to say. And what was so cool was at the end they had this clown in the dark and he was holding the balloon, you know, like he does in the movie, and he's standing holding the balloon, the red balloon. So I thought that was really cool. Now, just to let you know, I have my YouTube notes as always because I don't want to forget anything. Now, I actually haven't seen the original It movie that was out years ago, so I don't know, I can't really sort of compare. Anybody who watches Stranger Things will know that one of the main actors in this movie, Finn Wolfhard, actually plays Mike in Stranger Things. I'm almost at the very end of season 2, and then I'll be on season 3, which obviously isn't out yet because they're in the middle of making. What I really loved is there is an arcade scene in this where they're playing Street Fighter. I absolutely love Street Fighter. I have some Street Fighter games. And that part kind of reminded me of when they were in an arcade in Stranger Things. So in this movie, you can see outside a theatre it says Elm Street 5. And I just think that putting things like that into the movie, I just found really cool. You can let me know, because I can remember someone telling me this, and anyone who knows a lot about this will be able to tell me in the comments below or correct me if I'm wrong. But I can remember someone telling me that the clown It has like an enemy and they're afraid of turtles, the animal turtles. And I can remember that person telling me this. So I never noticed it the first time in the cinema, but when I was watching it at the weekend, I remember seeing Georgie's brother actually holding what looked like a turtle made from pieces of Lego, and he was holding it in his hand and everything. And I can remember thinking, I wonder, because you know, with his enemy being afraid of that animal. So I thought that was really cool how they actually just threw in what I would call like an Easter egg sort of thing in there into the movie. Let me know if you have seen this movie or if you're enticed now to go and watch it. See what I did there? I'm really cheesy and definitely should never try to become a comedian as a career. If you haven't seen the movie and you want to watch something good for Halloween, I would recommend that you watch the movie It, because if you don't, you'll float. We all float down here. That wasn't me trying to do an impression, by the way, that was just me trying to be really weird and random. But the next movie I actually watched last weekend also, and it's Sleepy Hollow. If you've been subscribed for a while, I'm sorry, but you're probably sick of hearing this, but it's the truth. It has Johnny Depp in it, who is my favourite actor in the world. It also has Christina Ricci, who, not even joking guys, literally everyone in my school and everybody and my aunt and everything always would have said, oh, here comes Wednesday from the Addams Family. Everybody thought when I was younger that I really looked like Christina Ricci. But anyways, I love the whole atmosphere of this movie, and for me it just blows me away. It's so perfect to watch for Halloween. Just the whole feel of it, the whole colours, the whole everything is just absolutely, like what would you call, like pleasing to the eye, like so stunning and so beautiful. This movie is directed by the sensational one and only, amazingly legendary director, Tim Burton. So of course it's fairly obvious that Johnny Depp was going to be in this movie because they're like the best of mates. You can let me know guys if you have seen the movie Sleepy Hollow and if you watch it at Halloween. The jokes aren't getting any better guys. You can let me know if you've seen it, and is it just me? Am I the only person that would love to own the coat that Johnny Depp wore the whole way through this entire movie? I just think it's really lovely. It's like black and then sort of has like gold stitching through it, but I just think it's really vintage looking and I love all that sort of stuff. It's really funny, my Labrador has just decided to jump up onto the sofa in my dining room, you know. He just takes over the whole house. The next one that I wanted to talk about, and it has a really freaky looking cover, it is the Evil Dead movie. And look at the back, it has an ear on it. The movie that I watched was out in 1981, The Evil Dead. But I had never seen this movie before until last week, but what I had seen was the series called Ash vs Evil Dead, which is based from the Evil Dead movies. So what was kind of cool was, some people probably have watched it the other way around. Obviously they would have watched, you know, from years ago, the movies, and then went and watched the series. I had only seen the seasons. I've seen season 1 and 2 last year, I watched them, and season 3 I'm going to be starting to watch tonight. I can't wait, I am so excited. It's so funny and so cheesy, I absolutely love it. So I was able to recognise some of the characters and go, oh, that was in, you know, the series. So that was really cool that I'd watched it the other way around than most people had probably watched. I did enjoy the movie, The Evil Dead, but if I had to choose between that movie and the series, I would say I much more preferred watching the series, but the movie was still fantastic. And what I love is they use all their own practical effects, if I could speak. They use all their own practical effects, so it's really slapstick looking, and the effects, you look at them and go, oh my goodness. But you know what, they went and did their own practical effects, fair play to them. And you know what, the practical effects that they did use, although would look stupid in probably a serious movie, looked fantastic for this film because it suited the tone of the movie. Because of the lead character is so cheesy and just such an idiot, it really suited it. First season of the Ash vs Evil Dead, which is the series, it came out on Halloween Day, which is really cool, back in 2015, and it finished there on April of this year. So the lead character is played by Bruce Campbell, and as I say, he is so cheesy, and it's pretty much like a slapstick horror comedy. So the next movie, I hate those comic books. They never get the eyes right. Hellboy says that. So the movie is, of course, Hellboy, and I actually have the director's cut like edition. So it's really cool. I'll actually show you, just in case anybody's interested in the director's cut edition, I will actually show you what it looks like on the inside. And I'll open it up as well. And there's Rasputin, which I have something really interesting that I wanted to sort of talk about him. So there's 3 discs in total, but it's just the first Hellboy. But I thought I would show you that. So Hellboy is a fictional sort of superhero, and he was actually created by a guy called Mike Mignola. Now what I found really interesting about this movie is the character Rasputin, because he is actually a supervillain from the Hellboy sort of comics. And basically he is based on a real life Russian mystic of the same name. And what's even more interesting is, I'm not sure if anyone has actually seen the wonderful cartoon, animated cartoon called Anastasia. The character Rasputin in it is based on the same character that was obviously played in Hellboy, who was actually voiced by Christopher Lloyd, who plays, of course, the legendary Doc in Back to the Future. I just wanted to share that, guys, because I always find that so interesting. And like when you watch the two, you sort of think, those two characters are based on the same guy, they coincide. Oh my. So if you haven't seen Anastasia and you love cartoons and things like that, you should watch it. It's not a Walt Disney movie, even though a lot of people think it is Walt Disney movie, but there's a good history behind that that's really interesting, guys, because it was a guy, I think, that did work for Walt Disney, and then there was some sort of dispute there, and he went and he was like, you know what, I'm going to make my own company. Something along those lines. It's really interesting, you should go and read up on it. Something that I wanted to ask you about, and if you could please leave it in the comments, especially to anyone who lives in America, because I think this is the only place that has them. There is a bar, I don't know whether it's a chocolate bar, that Hellboy eats in the movie called Baby Ruth, and he loves these bars, he's obsessed with Baby Ruth bars, but I don't know what's in them, I don't know what they taste like, because as far as I know they don't sell them here in the UK, but I'm almost sure I might be able to get one in a store called B&M Bargains where I live in Northern Ireland. So if you want to tell me, describe what's in them, if they're nice, I might have a look the next time I'm in that shop and give it a try and let you know what it tastes like. Hellboy for me is a fine example, guys, of how you get a movie and you cast it absolutely perfect. The cast of this movie is absolutely phenomenal. I love the scene. This is one of my favourite scenes. You can let me know what your favourite scene is in this movie as well in the comments. But my favourite scene was when they were looking for Rasputin's mausoleum. I just thought that it was incredibly well done. The whole feel of it, the snow, the colour, absolutely just incredible. I was like, wow. I mean, I've seen this movie, I don't even know how many times. Sometimes I watch it around Halloween, sometimes I watch it just whenever, but I just love this film. But what I like about this time of year is, I know you're just probably going to think it's a bit random, but there is scenes where there's like autumn leaves and things like that, and making a lot of rustling noises and things like that, and it's dark outside, and it makes me feel like Halloween is coming, and it's, you know, it's autumn, or as you would say in America, fall, whatever way you want to call it, autumn, fall, doesn't really matter. And outside, like all day today, it's been raining, and when you go out and you walk about, there's lovely leaves and everything blowing around you. I sound so crazy, but I'm just going to move on. Maybe I'm not the only one. Let me know if I'm crazy in the comments below. I mean, I'm known crazy anyway, but you know. But what I also love about Hellboy is that they didn't go crazy on CGI, guys. You can tell a lot of the stuff that they do is practical effects. Yes, they might have to add, you know, wee bits in and tweak things and maybe do CGI, but they certainly didn't go full blown the way most movies do in this day and age. I really hope that that's going to remain the case, because I don't know how many of you are aware, but there's going to be a Hellboy movie that's actually going to be released next year in 2019. For anybody who's interested, the new movie that's coming out, Hellboy, next year, it's not going to be played by Ron Perlman. It's actually going to be played by the actor David Harbour, and he actually plays Chief Hopper in the show Stranger Things. So I actually love him in Stranger Things. I think he is a fantastic actor, and I really love how he plays his role in Stranger Things. So it's actually really going to be interesting to see how it all plays out, how it unravels, how he's going to play as Hellboy. But also, if you think about it, next year it's going to be obviously 2019 that this Hellboy movie is going to be coming out. So that's 15 years on, you know, starting next year when it's released. It's going to be 15 full years upon its release since Ron Perlman first made an appearance and hit the screen on the Hellboy movie, the first Hellboy movie. So 15 years is quite a gap. So I'm quite interested. I think they have a massive actor following, in my opinion. I don't think they're going to do it as good, but that's just my opinion. Who knows? It might be, if they do it right. I don't know yet. I'll be very interested to see it. Are you interested in seeing Hellboy? Do you think it's a good idea that they're trying to recreate something with it? I'm kind of on the fence, but I'm very interested in the fact that the lead character is going to be being played by such a fantastic actor, David Harbour. So be interesting to see how he plays that character. Now the last one that I wanted to talk about, guys, is Coraline. Now I know I've already mentioned it, but there's a reason why I'm bringing it up again, because I thought I would have watched it by now, but the copy that I had on my memory stick, I can remember, wasn't really the best, and I thought, no, you know what, I seen this yesterday in a store called Tesco for £5 and I just picked it up. Now I will most likely watch this tonight. I absolutely love this movie, and for anybody who doesn't know, this movie is actually based on Neil Gaiman's, I have this wrote down because I knew I wasn't going to be able to pronounce it right, I hope I have, Neil Gaiman's 2002 novel that he released called Coraline. So he actually gave his approval and also his cooperation for this movie to actually be able to happen, basically. Now, a fun fact about Coraline, now, only really if you're a fan of Friends. I'm absolutely obsessed with Friends. It's my favourite TV show in the world and always will be. There is an actress in it that played a girl called Mackenzie, and she acted alongside Joey. Now, her real name is Dakota Fanning, and she actually is the actress that does the voice of Coraline. And the episode that she appeared in Friends with Joey was when Chandler and Monica were looking at her parents' house because they were considering sort of moving out into like the suburbs, and Joey was really upset about it and everything, and he was acting like a child, and he was talking to the girl Mackenzie. But just in case anybody's interested, that is the voice of Coraline. What I really love about this movie is there's so many different feelings to it. It's dark, it's unusual, it's so imaginative, and it's absolutely stunning visually. I mean, the visuals in this movie is just absolutely stunning and outstanding. So let me know if Coraline is a movie that you have seen. If it's not, honestly guys, it is so unusual. You should give it a watch if you like watching Halloweeny type stuff. and you like animated things as well. It says on the back of the DVD, now I honestly didn't know this, it says from the visionary director of The Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh my goodness, how cool is that? That just makes this movie even cooler. Or is it just me? So that is everything, guys, and my dog has now fell asleep on the sofa in my dining room. I'm going to go and make myself a cup of tea because my throat's getting dry. Nice and windy outside, definitely perfect for a nice cup of tea. So thank you so much for watching my video, and I would be really interested in hearing all your thoughts about everything below in the comments. I look forward to talking to you all and getting into the discussion with you all, and let me know what you love to watch at Halloween if you haven't already told me down in the comments. If you like this video, please help support me and my YouTube channel and my whole journey on YouTube by giving me a like if you have the time, and also I would love to hear from you in the comments. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much, it means the world. If you're not subscribed and you like random people and you like Star Wars or Marvel, Disney, reaction trailers to movies, anything like that, if you could even consider subscribing, it would mean so much to me, and if you do, thank you very much in advance. So thank you very much, guys. I will see you all in my next video. Bye!